In the Know, a radio program talking to the newsmakers in Ogle, Lee, DeKalb counties and beyond, keeping you in the know. Here's your host, Charles Van Horn.
Good morning, and joining us today, Jess Boettner, Executive Director of the Rochelle Rescue Mission. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here. Rochelle Rescue Mission, been around for some time in Rochelle, right?
Yes, about 9 years now.
And the goal of the organization is to help those who are homeless in the community. Now, does it just service just Rochelle proper, or can clients come in from a further distance away?
So we serve the Ogle County community.
So all of Ogle County?
Yes.
That is a lot of potential people who could be in dire need of shelter then.
Absolutely.
About how many clients can your facility handle on any given night?
So we average about 15 at a time, and then when one or two get an apartment, then the next person comes in.
Okay, so there's a waiting list then?
I try to get people as soon as possible. We have 2 family rooms, a women's room, and then a men's room.
Yeah, and that's all at what location in town then?
It's 805 West Lincoln Avenue.
What kind of building is that then?
The elongated brick building. It doesn't have a label on it. It was laundromat. It was temp agency. Yeah. And then we kind of converted it to a homeless shelter. And
so inside there, you said you have those specific rooms. It's got bathroom, showers.
Oh, yes.
Like that.
Yeah, we've got locks on the doors for privacy and all that.
And about only 15 at a time then?
Yeah, and it not recycles. It just one moves out and then another's able to come in right away. So.
And full a lot of the time?
It is, yes. Especially right now. There's been quite an uptick in need.
And this is summertime. Obviously, in the winter, I would imagine the demand is even greater.
It's been both, actually. Sometimes the family's like, oh, it's summertime. So
let's talk a little bit about the clients that need the services of the Rochelle Rescue Mission. For most of us, I would say really almost all of us, we can't imagine what steps it took to end up to be needing shelter. There's a lot of things that have to happen for you're at the point of going to the rescue mission saying, I need a place to be safe with my family or just for myself.
Yep.
Where there's got to be all these stories, and I'm sure none are the same, but because Ogle County is so big, I'm sure some of them are so varied. What are some of the typical reasons why a client would come to you and go, I have nowhere else to be, and I've got to be safe, and I've got to get through the night?
Yeah. So a lot of our folks have burnt, unfortunately, bridges with family. They don't have maybe a lot of friends or any friends, or if they do, they're not able to stay with them. So we've got that going on. And then a lot of them have lost jobs and in eviction, just different things, paycheck to paycheck, a lot of variables. Like the last resort, I don't have anywhere to go. I have no family. I have hardly any friends that can help. So then when they call, they're very desperate.
The Rochelle Rescue Mission, obviously your motivation is to get individuals safe.
Yes.
And I assume fed of some kind as well.
Yep. So we do have a variety of folks that we work with. So we work with the Christian Food Pantry across the street. They are open twice a week. So we've got toaster oven, microwave, all the stuff that the folks can cook their own meals. It prepares them for their apartment as well. We also work with the police department. So if somebody needs an emergency hotel, we're able to provide that. The city of Rochelle, we work with. We're very grateful for them as well. And we work with Tri-County. They help with first month's rent and deposit. So we're very grateful when they get to that point.
And that's really going to be my next thing is the immediate here and now is a different list of priorities than the getting individuals placed back into a home or a residence. And you mentioned some of the factors, the burning of the bridges, employment issues, or evictions.
Yeah.
Those are all incredible barriers to get into a property, a rental, things like that.
Yeah.
How do some of these clients overcome those barriers? Because I know that out there that it's pretty tough to get an apartment, at least a run-of-the-mill apartment with an eviction history.
It is, yes. Yep. So if anybody can avoid eviction, please do, because that goes on your record and it does taint it, and it just means you have to work extra hard to try to get that person or family housed. It's not impossible. It's just a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, and that's again one of the many barriers that you guys have to deal with. in obviously helping the people at most need. All of these services cost a pretty penny. I would imagine that because the services are free and the clients are certainly not going to be able to reimburse in any way, I'm sure there's volunteer opportunities. But where does the Rochelle Rescue Mission primarily get its funding?
Yeah, so we really rely on grants. A big example is the Rochelle Area Community Foundation, and we're very grateful for them. Also, community member donations, that means individuals, churches, and businesses, and we are very, very grateful for all the support, so thank you.
And that's financial support, and also probably, I assume, items as well, toiletries. Yes. Of course, you mentioned the food pantry.
Oh, yes, yeah.
What are some of the things that you guys need week in, week out that individuals from the public could just drop off or contact you and make arrangements to be picked up?
Yeah, toiletries are great, and then I also, when it is time for folks to get apartments, we are so happy to take furniture donations, this stuff, because a lot of them come in with almost nothing. And then all kitchenware, all that stuff. And then during the year, sometimes people just want to do something special for folks to adopt a family, adopt an individual, bring an extra Christmas gift, that kind of things.
Clients come in, and are there questions you ask clients? Obviously, you want to make sure that they are going to be safe around themselves and others.
Yes.
And that's probably a priority. And there's probably people who are on, for better terms, a no-fly list that you just unfortunately cannot meet the needs of. When you have those types of people, where do you direct them to?
Yeah, so two of the main things is we can't house sex offenders. We're next to a school, and plus we have families and women and all the things. And then also domestic violence.
And that's really the thing, is that being homeless is incredibly rough on someone's health, their psyche, and their future.
Yes.
Because I don't know if there's been a study on this, you might know this, but I can imagine that there's probably a window where if you are homeless, the sooner you find a permanent or semi-permanent living situation, the less likely you are to be homeless in the future.
Yes.
But I assume it's the longer that goes on, the more entrenched in your ways you are, and you will be homeless forever.
Yeah, and that's very true. And so sometimes it's a mindset, like you just have to get out of it. You don't have to be in poverty the rest of your life. Get a job or Social Security benefits or disability benefits, have some sort of revenue coming in so that you can be housed and you don't have to be on the street. Just pay your bills on time, and we do try to have like workshops when we can, financial. We have one coming up, and just to try to help people with that too. And
that's one of the many again, this goes back to my early when we said we can't. It's tough to comprehend how you would get into that situation.
Yeah.
All of us go, we have to pay the light bill.
Sure.
But for a lot of people, that is a big hurdle to cross.
Correct. Yeah.
And that snowballs. Because once the light bill's behind, then the rent's behind.
Sure.
And then the gas bill's behind.
Yep.
And the next thing, you get a note taped to your door.
The whole thing.
Stuff's on the sidewalk.
Yep.
And it just totally snowballs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Tri-County comes in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If somebody's on the verge of a homeless situation, but they don't necessarily need your services yet, can you still provide advice? Do you still be like,
I do.
Oh my goodness, here's the steps you need to take?
Yes, I do. Yep. And if we do have somewhere in town that they can help, I forgot the exact amount. But I do advise them, say, hey, if you can avoid an eviction, or let's do this, or let's get your electric bill paid through this organization.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps try to prevent, because we are kind of the last step.
And I'm sure all the stories are so varied and different levels of heartbreak.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for each person, it is their heartbreaking moment.
Yes.
But beyond all of that, the misery and the anguish and the pain of going through a homelessness situation.
Yeah.
What are some of the success stories
that
you've had? This was a family that was in here 5 years ago, and they've just bought a car, and they've been in a place for a long time, or somebody's buying a house. What are those turnaround stories?
Yeah, kind of a humorous one. And there are very many people that still have their homes today, which I'm very grateful for. Apartments, I should say.
Yeah.
This is a humor one. So we had a gentleman come in. The wife stayed with a friend, said, hey, I'm not going to do the shelter thing. And so the husband came in, and we have cleaning tasks that everybody kind of does, assigned to. And he was not used to doing that type thing. And I was kind of coaching him, helping him, all that stuff. And by the time his wife, they did find a place to live through the help of Tri-County and all this stuff. So when he was, when he rejoined his wife, she got a whole new husband. He did his dishes. He helped out with cleaning stuff, and she really helped their marriage. And so that's kind of a humor one. But there's quite a few that are still home to this day, which I'm very thankful for.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what you guys. It may be the lowest point, but for you guys, it just means everything's uphill.
Yeah,
you just gotta do the grind and do the work and get things done. Do you guys do stuff too with transportation and jobs and things like that as well to try to turn them around?
Yeah. Oh, and I did forget to mention earlier, we also work with local like 7 C's and the Hope Chest and Presbyterian Thrift Shop if they don't have enough clothes.
Yeah.
And then we do have computers that they can do resumes and fill out applications or on their phones, or there's also local temp agencies that will also help with that. We do have a local transportation if they need it. Sometimes I help them as well.
Yeah.
So there are ways to just help them be successful. We do also have bikes as well, transportation bikes. Sometimes it's carpool, just creative things to help them be successful. We also partner with Sauk Valley Voices of Recovery. If somebody's has an addiction, we can't do active addiction. There's either referral or that kind of thing. And I'm sure I don't want to leave people out, but there are people that we do partner with just to, for additional success.
And that's really the key to this, really. It's just, you must spend a lot of time interviewing the people as well, just talking to them to figure out what barriers are keeping you from getting that apartment, keeping that job. What roadblocks have been put up in your life? Yes,
and we do rely on Sinisippi as well because they do provide counseling. So if they have insurance or whatnot, they can go through that. Yeah, so we do a lot of partnering with folks and just, hey, how can we collaborate, that kind of thing.
The hours of the shelter, 24 hours a day, 365?
Yes, and if just leave a message, and then I do get back with you. So.
And that's to start the intake process. Again, a waiting list, unfortunately, which is awful because then, of course, contact information gets difficult if somebody's not a reliable phone or borrowing or staying at somebody else's place.
Yep.
There's a lot of barriers there.
Yes, I do try to get folks in if I can right away. And if we are full, I do try to find another solution. So, it's like, okay, and that's why I'm like, okay, y'all, the ones that are staying there right now, like jobs, apartments, let's not get too comfortable because there are people wanting to get in as well and they need help just like you guys did.
Just
so
turn the cycle of poverty
around. Absolutely.
It's incredible the work you guys are doing. Somebody wants to help out the Rochelle Rescue Mission. How do they get hold of you guys? How can they donate?
Oh, thank you. Yes, we do have a website. And it is, one moment please, it's www.rochellerescuemission.org. We do have volunteer forms if you are interested in that. So you would just meet with me and I'd go over kind of your strong set skills. You can organize in the back or, sit in the office. You can be an encouragement to the folks. If you want to help with resumes, job applications, that's definitely an option as well. We are faith-based, we're Christian, so you can do devotions. You could do just a whole bunch of variety of things. And it's based on everybody's comfort level. And it's not like, you have to come at this time or you have to come every week. It's as your schedule. So that kind of takes the pressure off. Also, just donating furniture or houseware really helps too when they do get to the point of needing to get an apartment because they are most of the time starting from scratch. And then, of course, monetary is very helpful as well. So we appreciate that too.
Jess Boettner, Executive Director, Rochelle Rescue Mission. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this week's In the Know. The program returns next week at this time with another great conversation with someone from your community.